Well, it's time for the 10th annual Port Edwards Fun Fest, and today I have 3 guests in the studio, and they're going to introduce themselves, and we're going to tell you all about it. So go ahead.
Well, I'm Marshall Beeler. I'm just on the committee for the Fun Fest and have been for all 10 years. And I'd like to acknowledge our chairperson, who has been on it for 10 years and doing a fabulous job. That's Paige Clark. My particular part of the whole committee action is to organize what we call the trivia contest, which is the contest on local history of Port Edwards. But this year it's going to be different. It's going to be a picture association, pictures of 100 years ago, and you pick what's on that spot today. There are cash prizes, and it's free. And that's true of the entire Fun Fest, except for some of the crafts that you buy or the food that you buy, but it's free to get into the grounds, free parking, free children's games with prizes, free trivia contest, and above all, free ice cream and pie the night before.
Well, later in the show, I'm going to get back to you. You're a local historian. You know a lot about those pictures, so I'm going to talk about it later in the show. But we're going to go to Ines. Ines, have you introduce yourself.
I'm Ines Krohn, and I've been working for 2 years now on the Fun Fest craft show. And we have available this year quite a number of crafters who come in with handmade things, and we've also opened it up to small businesses and educational groups. So we have a nice assortment of people. Later on, I'll run down the products that are going to be featured.
All right, sounds good. And in the studio, we have Dee Dee Gibbs, and you're the first time here in the studio last few years. We've had some
Yes.
other people, but tell me about your stuff that you're going to do for the Port Edwards Fun Fest.
I'm directing a race, a fun run, which is new to the Fun Fest, although they did give it a go a couple years ago. Last year was my first time attending the Fun Fest, and I have a large family, and my kids enjoyed it. And somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said they need a fun run in this event, with this event again. And so I was basically asked to try and direct a race. And so we're doing our first 5K and kids run for in conjunction with the fest, and it'll be taking place on Friday night. So after the race, the Lions has been gracious and offering a free meal to all the participants, and then of course you have the pie and ice cream, which is free, and then we'll have some live music as well. So it's a great time to run a race, and the YMCA has offered to allow showers, race participants to go and take showers, so then they can go back and have pie and ice cream and enjoy the evening events. So.
All right, well, if anyone's just tuning in here today, we have 3 people here. They're talking about the Port Edwards Fun Fest. They're on the committee, but I'm going to talk to Marshall here, and he's going to tell me a little bit about, there's a car show Friday night. He's got that, and that's kind of kicks everything off, and then the fun run that you talked about. So let's talk about the car show.
Okay, that's Friday night, and the car show starts down at the Village Park, Alexander Edwards Park, or the swimming pool park, if you want to define it that way. And then it goes up to towards the Methodist Church in Port Edwards, and then up to Edgewater Nursing Home and around the parking lot where the patients of the nursing home come out in the parking lot. There'll be music there, and the people in the nursing home love to see these old vintage cars go by. And then they have a car cruise, which comes back about roughly 45 minutes to an hour later, ends up in the Methodist Church parking lot, where we'll be serving ice cream, and I'll be one of the scooper-uppers there. That's not dog scooper-uppers, that's ice cream. But scooping ice cream and serving pie. The local churches in Port Edwards all donate the pies or brownies, and the ice cream is donated, and it's free. And I like to tell a little story, if I may, Tom.
Yes, please.
I was scooping ice cream a couple years ago, and a little boy came up, maybe 10 years old, and he's eyeing all the cake and all the ice cream. And I said, go get a piece of pie, and I'll put a scoop of ice cream. I don't have any money. I said, it's free. Whammo, he was up there with a big piece of pie, got a couple scoop of ice cream. Next thing I knew, I think his brothers, sisters, and the rest of the neighborhood were there. But that's what it's all for.
Well,
Fun Fest. Have fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and it's open to everybody. People watching in Wisconsin Rapids, Saratoga, Nakusa, come by, right? It's open for everybody to come by and enjoy in the festivities.
The cars then will be on display the next day in the down in the park or alongside the park, and there'll also be tractors there for a tractor display.
All right, well, car, motorcycle cruise on Friday, and then the next day they'll all be back. So if people did get a chance and missed it, they were working, the cars will be back there, and I'm sure there's probably awards. They normally do an
Yes,
awards
there are.
day.
And I'm not involved with
Yep.
the car part of it, but there are awards, trophies.
Okay. All right, well then, you gotta grab some ice cream, and afterwards on that Friday night, you can't go wrong, and it's free. Well, let's talk about Saturday morning here.
Our craft fair is a very nice event. We have booths, people coming with jewelry. We have beautiful hand-woven rugs. We have wooden bowls that are turned on lathes. We have a couple of vendors who will be providing that. There will be handmade fishing pole holders and stoneware pottery, doll clothes, and handmade doll clothes for the little ones. One of our vendors will be providing handmade baskets. They're absolutely beautiful. And scarves, handmade scarves. Another vendor has some crosses and magnets that are made of a polymer concrete that are, they look like marble. They're just a great assortment of beautiful objects available. In addition, we have some small businesses who will be presenting their things, and some educational organizations who will be providing information for the community and some of the services that they provide.
All right, well, it looks like there's a lot of stuff. Can anybody still get in as a vendor at this point, or is there a deadline for that?
Well, we do have openings, and we will accept registrations certainly through the end of July, and possibly later if there's space, but we would like to, we would in fact like to see a couple more vendors. We have a little bit of room, so they could contact us. They could
Okay.
contact me or Gail Posley, who also is working in the craft area.
All righty. Well, let's talk again on Saturday. No, it's not Saturday morning, that's the fun
No, the
run.
Friday night.
It's Friday night, so not the Saturday morning. So if
Right.
everyone thinks it's Saturday morning, it is Friday night,
Yep.
which really starts and kicks that off. Can we just talk a little bit about ages and how you register for that?
Yes, that's a good question. We have posters around town that you're going to be able to spot around the YMCA, various places. Bring Cycling has some registration forms. Some of them will be black and white like this, and you can grab the sheet, and the registration form is right on the bottom. You can get your registration form on our Facebook page, which is listed as Port Fun Fest Fun Run. So you can, there's a printable JPEG sort of thing
Okay,
that you can
great.
print and send in. Now I have an early deadline in order to guarantee t-shirts, and on the flyer it says July 15th. We're willing to, it's probably going to take me another week before I get those orders in, so you'll be okay if you get it in by the 20th of July or even a couple days beyond that. So, but that was just to make sure that we got a number of how many t-shirts we
Right.
might need.
But
So
they can go after the 20th if needed.
yes, and you'll
They just
you'll-
may not get a t-shirt. is what we're
Exactly,
saying.
definitely. We'll take even race day registration. So
Okay,
hopefully,
all right.
if you're not sure you can do it, but you want to come by that night, we'll accept race day registration. And our registration form is also in this Port Edwards Fun Fest flyer. You know, you don't see right away fun run, so if that's what you're interested in, you have to just open it up, and then the registration form is inside.
Okay.
So.
So Fun Run, is it let's talk about the length of the race.
Yes,
It's a race or
it's
a
a
walk?
5K and a kids run, and the kids run is about a half mile. So it's, just over a half mile. And the wonderful thing is that you finish right down the main stretch on Market Street in downtown Port Edwards. So I think it'll be a nice finish course. And the course itself runs out along the trail toward Nakusa, so that also keeps us away from traffic, and it should be a really beautiful
Well, the Port Edwards
place for a
police
race.
will be there to help
Correct.
direct traffic, I'm sure, volunteers. So
Yes.
it'll be a safe, fun run for
Yeah.
kids and gets everybody out there. So, all right. Well, that's a lot of fun stuff coming up. Let's just touch base on the trivia contest, because that's a big thing that you're doing this year.
Well, that started off with my hobby, which is history, local history. It used to, sometimes it was a question and answer thing, all on the history of Port Edwards. Sometimes it's been a multiple choice type trivia contest. But this year I tried something new in making it up. That is, I mentioned earlier, one side of the contest sheet is a series of pictures of buildings and structures that were in Port Edwards 7,500 years ago. And on the other side, pictures of what is on that same spot today. And the idea is to associate the two. For the correct answers, or those sheets that are submitted with the correct answers, and you can pick up the sheet right there at the Fun Fest, fill it out, hand it back in. For the correct sheets, we throw them in a basket, and then at the end of the day, we'll make 3 drawings for 3 cash prizes, which will be given to the ultimate winners. So it's really a drawing from the correct answers.
So have you had a chance to put all the questions? Or you already have them ready to go? Or?
It's all done, printed, and ready to hand out, and I'm not telling you any more about it.
We can't know any more. So you guys got to come down to this. We're not going to let any more out on the show. So it's a lot of fun. And we know from past history and past programs on here that you've done, and your narration on some of the programs, the great photos of the area, not just Port Edwards, but around the entire Southwood County. Has a great informational source here on that. So get down there and get the chance to see and play a part of that trivia contest. So Ines, any other stuff that you'd like to talk about that you're doing, craft fair or anything else that's happening on Saturday that you're involved with?
Well, during the whole day there's a lot of fun things going on for the kids. The swimming pool will be open, and of course that's free. And then we have
there's
a committee member who will be providing free games. She sets up kids carnival type games, and there are prizes, and this goes on all day. There's a lot of free opportunities for the kids, so there's fun for the kids while their parents can look around at the craft show. There's also a raffle going on with some beautiful raffle baskets that people can bid on, and there's just a lot of opportunities for fun.
Dee Dee, let's talk about food. Is there food down there for everybody to enjoy, so they don't have to bring a cooler?
Yes, the Lions Club will have their tent of food, and it sounds like they're grilling doing hot dogs and hamburgers and brats. And yes, and that again is free to the race participants, so they get a meal. And then the free pie and ice cream as well, so that's exciting. And that's Friday night, of course. Now on Saturday, I'm not sure, are the Lions serving then food on
Yes.
Saturday as well?
The Lions will have their food vending facility there. Plus, I understand that there's going to be a bakery sale from one of the churches, and possibly something else to churches and organizations in Port Edwards usually sponsor some kind of a food vending set. Nachos, I'm not sure these are going to be there, but in the past I've had nachos and bakery and French fries, and so there's plenty to eat, plenty to eat. The only part that's free, though, is the pie and ice cream the night before. He has free food for the runners, but Saturday, you better come with a few little change in your pocket. I might mention one other thing, if I may, Tom.
Please.
All the profits made on this, from the car run entries, from, well, not necessarily from the food vendors in the church, but any money that is made by the Fun Fest committee is given to a charitable organization in the area. And this year, the committee has selected the food pantry. So they will be the benefits of any profits. And last year, we were able to donate about
$4,000.
$4,000
Wow.
to the food pantry, was it?
Yes.
To the food pantry. So you're helping those organizations too.
Yeah, that buys a lot of food and it really helps. You know, the summer's gonna wind down and winter will be here before we know it. And you know, that's really needed around that time and the holidays for people to come and get that. But all year too, it definitely needs to be stocked. So, well, great thanks to you guys for picking the Southwood County Emergency Pantry Shelf for donating some of those proceeds of the event. But it's a fun time, rain or shine.
Yes, but we don't talk about the rain.
So,
I want to say also
Yes.
there's Jeremiah's Crossing will be there
Okay.
as well with a therapeutic horseback riding demonstration to show what their program does for children in the area.
okay. Well, Marcia, why don't you give the date just so people know if they missed it? It is August 8th and 9th.
August 8th and 9th.
August 8th and 9th. That's a Friday and a Saturday. So if you can't come Friday, come Saturday. Or the other way around. There's plenty of events now that are going. It's getting bigger every year. It's the 10th annual one. So a lot of people in Port Edwards to put this on like yourself. So this is just part of the committee. Is that right?
That's
Yes,
right.
yes.
So quite a few on the committee.
Quite a few on the
I
committee. So.
have to say, working with the committee that puts this together has been just an honor and a privilege, and it's my first year. And they are just a group of wonderful people who want to just really bring something nice for families in this community. And so they've been very encouraging, and I think it's going to be a great family event. So.
All right.
They have the student council at the high school is involved in providing help. We have quite a number of people who will be there wearing T-shirts similar to mine, so that anyone that has any questions anytime during the day, we've got answers. And they just look for an orange T-shirt. And
Yep, orange and the black, and it goes with the school colors as well. That works out great. You can't miss yes. So if you have questions, they just come and ask. There's plenty of parking and stuff for people there, I would assume.
Yes.
Just come right in and have fun, and you can walk across the street. And it's all down in that pavilion next to the YMCA, Southwood County YMCA.
Except for Friday night, Tom. That's in the Methodist Church
Okay.
parking lot for the ice cream social. And there'll be music at that too,
Oh,
incidentally.
all right. So there'll be music and fun and the cars out there. And like you said earlier before, the people just love to see those cars. They come out of the nursing home
Yes.
and watch that. So if you guys are watching, don't forget Friday night, right around a little after 6. Is that when it's
I
going to
think
be?
the ice cream serving starts at 5:30.
5:30 to 8.
5:30.
Okay.
And the cars come back from their cruise around 7 to 7:30.
Okay. So if anyone's out there
Those are the
between
old
that
cars, you
time,
gotta do, how many breakdowns they're gonna have.
they happen. There's nothing you can do
But,
when they're 50, 60, 70 years old. I mean, you might have a couple, sometimes Model Ts going through some of those I've seen. So it's growing every year. I mean, I had a chance to cover it before, and every year more vehicles, more people come down to the fest. And the kids have a lot of fun Saturday morning as well. I know there's those games for candy and treats they can get and pick. So bring them down, and there's really no cost to that, I believe,
Not
to
at
play
all.
those games. So for a couple hours, have your kids go do that or follow them along. In the past, I know the Y has helped with that too, and some of the people and the volunteers. So well, I want to thank you three for coming and telling us all about it, and hopefully more people get out there and enjoy that day. It's a weekend, not too far away. We're taping this here in July, but we'll be, you're probably seeing this in August as well, but it's a little bit cold out right now. It's hopefully the weather is going to be a great time for you guys on that in August. So, all right. Well, thanks again. And again, just a reminder: August 8th and 9th, 10th annual Port Edwards Fun Fest. Get out, and it's celebrating unity in our community. That's what they call it. So get out there, have fun with family, and thanks for joining us here on Community Connections.